I got a question on how to properly fight and successfully land fish when you're fighting them. You know, inshore species from snook to redfish, sea trout, any of those inshore species, especially if you come from, you know, like a bass fishing background where you use really heavy line and you have to pretty much horse those fish in. It's a lot different out here in the salt. So first off, we're using light tackle. This is 10-pound braid. I've got 20-pound leader. The lure I'm using is a 2.0 paddle tail in the LeBron's color on a 3/8 ounce Haas helix hook. Now, as far as what you want to have ready, first off is a net or some type of landing device. You know, have either fish grips or landing net close to you if you don't have somebody in the boat. If you do have somebody in the boat, still you want to make sure you have the net or any type of landing device ready to go. Now we're out here on the water. We're going to try to hook into something, and I will walk you through some steps on how to properly fight and land fish using light tackle inshore. Now what I'm doing is I have my rod to the side. You don't want to hold it straight up because that's going to want to bring the fish up to the surface. So keep the rod to the side and turn the fish whichever direction he goes. Pull the opposite way to the side. So he constantly going that way. I'm pulling out to the side. Also, what I'm going to do is anchor up. This fish is getting pretty tired. When they want to run, you got to let them run. When you get him close enough, see, he still wants to run. I got that drag set just enough that if he wants to run, he can run. I'm trying to keep him clear of motor and trolling motor and all that. When they get tired, you'll know they're tired because they'll start swimming in circles or will come up and sort of lay on their side. Now we got them close enough. One thing you don't want to do is grab your rod from the middle or anywhere really above the reel seat because you could risk breaking your rod. So as you can see, that fish is tired. It's laying on its side. I have my net ready to go. You just sort of want to guide that fish into the net. So guide him towards the net, swoop him in the net, and there you go, fish landed. This net I have here is made by Yak Attack. It is a leverage landing net. As you can see, it's got this area for your forearm, then you can grab it there and use it very easily with one hand. Nice red on that LeBron's 2.0 paddle tail, 3.5 inch. Nice little red. When you release these fish, always make sure they swim off nice and healthy. Slam in the water, grab the tail, and off he goes. So that's pretty much the gist of getting these fish landed. Obviously, bigger fish, you're gonna fight them a lot longer. When it's warm out, fish don't fight as hard because there's not as much dissolved oxygen in the water for them to sort of rejuvenate themselves. Water temps here are pretty comfortable in the 70s. So these fish usually push off pretty quick, but always make sure they're ready to go when you release them, especially if you're not keeping them. Now, if you're struggling to actually find and catch fish in your area, that's of course the most important thing when you're out there. Whether you live in Texas, you know, the Gulf Coast, or all the way up the Atlantic coast, be sure to check out our Salt Strong membership, where we guarantee you'll start catching more inshore fish. Head over to saltstrong.com and we'll see you there. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to drop them down below.